show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's the intro.
Yay!
That's Marko.
Yay!
Marko, welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont. And today it's episode 1195.
Wow.
And the name of the show is
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh yeah, this is the song part.
I get you anything special for the 1200 show?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, I hadn't thought about that, Marko.
I think you should.
So,
Maybe I should come back for the 1200 show. I just like exit now, pretend this never happened, and then just come back 4 shows later.
that would be a cool idea.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I didn't really sing a song in that little part that I
You
sang.
didn't.
I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
So,
Mike's
the last show
Daily
was called
Podcast.
Epiphany because
Yeah.
I had an epiphany that practically every woman I've ever dated was affiliated with a coffee house in some way. And my ex-wife I met at a coffee house.
Really?
And I was trying to think of, it's mostly mom and pop coffee houses, not so much the Starbucks or the Pete's.
Right.
And there's a girl that works at a Pete's in Castro Valley who's hot named Kat. And then there was a really hot Alabama Starbucks barista that I'm still friends with on Facebook named Mary.
Nice. Maybe that's why I don't get laid often, because I don't hang out at coffee houses, because number one, I hate coffee, and two, I hate the people who go to coffee houses. Maybe I've had it wrong all these years.
Oh my God, I just had when you started talking like that, you know what it made me think of?
What?
We need to do a new segment. This would be Saturday Night Live segment. Welcome to Trump Talk. What do you think about woman? Bada boom.
Right?
No, let's not objectify the women.
No, of course not. We love and respect women here on Mike's Daily Podcast.
They're so beautiful.
You darn tootin'.
Yeah, that's... So wait, you're saying... Oh, look who just walked in. That when you went to Starbucks, you never dated a barista? Was that what you were saying?
That's what I said, yeah. I wanted to, but... You know.
Well, I don't... they have such busy lives. Usually if you're working at Starbucks, you've also got like 800 other things. You're in school, you know what? They're always dating guys. This is... I may do a little objectifying on today's show, but it's good to be objective about life and see and kind of take a step back and go, oh, that's something I noticed. They date a lot of hipsters,
yes.
the baristas.
See, that's why I hate coffee houses, because now there's hipsters that frequent it all the time. And so even if I did like coffee, I still wouldn't go. So there you go. No hot little baristas for me.
I have seen many a barista's boyfriend walk in as I am talking to the barista. Oh, just like that. Someone else walked in. And their boyfriends always have those weird things in their ears.
I was just about to say, do they have the stupid long-ass ear ring holes? And yeah. Wow, we're on the same wavelength today. I like that.
Oh, that's amazing, Marko. Oh, so a couple characters walked in.
Who's that?
Hello, Michael Matthew. Hello, Marko. How do you say your last name?
I can't even pronounce my last name this morning. I'm too tired.
This is Madame Rootabega.
Hey, how's it going? How you been? It's been a while.
Give me your hand. I'm going to predict your future.
No, please don't.
You're going to marry a barista.
Well, that's not so bad.
She's going to be beautiful. Oh. Wow, that's a beautiful story.
I think so. Now that I know who I'm going to marry, it's like, why even care about the rest of my life, right?
Man, when marriage happens, it's something.
It is.
It's something on many levels. I just can't really put it into words at the moment. I'm trying to objectify it, and I can't.
You're objectifying it.
Someone else walked in.
Who's that?
2 other people. Valentino and Bison Bentley.
Oh, yeah. Valentino.
Hello there, Marko. It's Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
We like the name you give to Mike.
Oh, yeah? You like the Goombats, huh?
They call me Mikey Goombot. Or Marko calls me Mikey Goombats.
That's right.
I don't even know what that means.
Mike, I'll tell you what it means. It means that you're a part of that car battery that makes it keep going. The acid that's what a Goombats is. Isn't that right, Marko?
That's right. If anyone would know, it's Valentino.
That's right. Valentino knows everything. He's my friend. Do you know that? He just follows him around. Bison Bentley follows him.
I noticed that.
We all need a Bison Bentley to follow us around and make us feel important. A little Robin to our Batman.
There you go.
Now, what is a Goombats?
I think it's just the name, to tell you the truth. That's one of those. I heard it either through a movie or a show, and I don't know. You know me. I watched too much Sopranos back in the day, so Tony Soprano was my television hero. So he's the only fat guy to score lots of hot chicks on a TV show.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's time for the podcast picture, Marko.
Oh, really? What picture do we have up today?
Well, I can't show it to you because you're way over there at Cafe anyway, but it's this picture of a bunch of sunflowers.
Sunflowers. Why sunflowers? It's not even summer anymore. What the hell are you doing?
You have the most confused look on your face.
I really do. If you could see this look right now, it's the most perplexed look I think I've ever had in the history of my life.
Very perplexed. Very perplexed. Wow. So now I don't know what to call this show today. Objectify or perplexed? You know how I have one name for each show?
That's true, you do. Well, this could be the very first show where we have 2 names.
Oh.
Yeah. Why stop at one? Why?
I have several.
Why be so restrictive?
You're right. I'm confining myself. I should do many. All right. Well, the reason why, Marko, is because I went to Niles. Because I passed by Niles. Have you ever been to Niles?
No.
Niles is this weird... Okay, we're in the middle of the city, Fremont.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there's this little, old western town called Niles that hasn't been touched in, 100 years. And they filmed Charlie Chaplin movies there. And old silent movie westerns that starred a hero... It starred this hero named Bronco Billy. And so there's a lot of Bronco Billy, Charlie Chaplin stuff. There's a pizza place. Ooh. If you want good pizza, Bronco Billy's.
Really? I love good pizza.
Right there. And I just gave him a free plug. You know what?
I think they owe you a free pizza now, don't they?
No, I have to say something bad about their pizza. Their pizza's... Is
that bad?
That was a bleep I just did.
Right.
Okay. No, anyway, that's Niles. So that's a picture from Niles.
Ah, gotcha. Niles. How come I never heard of that place?
Hey, you ever been to Das Brew?
What's Das Brew? Sounds like something from Berlin or something.
It's a local microbrewery craft beer maker in Fremont.
I have to check them out because, like I said, it sounds German, and I'm a big fan of the German beer. So, there you go. Get some bratwurst going, a little sauerkraut on the side, and a nice tall 50-ounce beer stein of German beer.
Oh, so
it's Oktoberfest. You know that, right?
Is it still going on? I think the Germans celebrate Oktoberfest in September. That's the weird thing. And we celebrate it in October because it's got October in the title.
Exactly. So, yeah. So I'm saying Oktoberfest is all month long. It's a good excuse just to drink beer all month long. I mean, come on.
You know what else it is? It's Rocktoberfest, right? That wasn't really a good rock.
Yeah, that was. What was up with that? It at least had some kind of double drum bass thing going, or like a screeching guitar riff, or somebody doing a high pitched scream.
Oh man, I don't have any of that. You blew it. Dang it!
They're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I got a little bit of this stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, It's Raptoberfest is what it is. No, it's not that. Hey, but, gosh. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I Skype with a girl in Germany named Petra. She's been on the show. She was in America once, and I recorded her at Cafe Anyway. And Anyway. Cafe Anyway. She told me that she went to Oktoberfest, and she told me she wore a dirndl. And then I kind of did this thing like Homer does. Dirndls. Dirndl. Do you know what a dirndl is?
Is that the outfit that exposes their breasts?
Yes.
Nice. I just assumed that's what it was. So
it doesn't expose them.
Well, it doesn't expose them, but it pushes it up. Yeah.
Cleavage.
Yeah, it shows cleavage, should I say.
Maybe that's the word for today's show is cleavage.
There we go. I like that word.
That's a little too much cleavage. Okay. So that was Oktoberfest. Now let's do the Marko Minute, even though Marko's on. The whole show's basically a Marko Minute. But now let's play your opener.
Thank you.
The Marko Minute. The Marko Minute.
I have to put it in post.
Of course.
So we just heard it, basically, to the people that heard the finished product.
I heard it in my mind. That's all. That's all counts.
Marko Minute.
So much happened in sports, Marko, and including this little sport some people know of called baseball.
Yes. So the baseball playoffs are underway. They've been underway since last week, and the Giants barely made them by the skin of their teeth. They made the wild card game, which they won. They beat the New York Mets in a one-game playoff, 3-0. Thanks to Madison Bumgarner, their all-star stud pitcher who went 9 shutout innings. So he got them into the playoff series against the Chicago Cubs. Of course, this is a team that hasn't won a World Series since 1908. They're on 108 years of futility. And, they had a chance to force a Game 5. The Giants did on Tuesday night. This is still fresh in my bleeding heart right now.
Oh.
They were up 5-2 in the 9th inning. Now, for those of you who don't know baseball, baseball has 9 innings, and so after that, the game is over because there's no time clock.
Why 9?
I don't know the reason. It's too early for me to even remember why they chose 9, but they just have 9. So let's just go with that, okay?
Okay.
And so they were up 3 runs, 5-2. All they needed was 3 more lousy outs, and they could have forced a Game 5 back in Chicago, and this would have been to go to the next round, because it's the best of 5, so they would have been tied 2-2 had they won. But they could not get 3 more outs. Their bullpen, which has been horrible. These are the guys who come in after the starter to try to close out the game. Well, their manager, Bruce Bochy, who I like to call Bochy because he botches things up later on in the 9th, decided to take out his starter, Matt Moore, who was cruising through 8 innings, only gave up two runs, only I think like 3 or 4 hits at the time. And because he had thrown 120 pitches, he decided, I got to take him out. And I got to put in 4 guys who are going to blow the game. And they did. They kept walking the first couple guys. Then the other guys got hits. And then all of a sudden, the 5-2 lead went to a 6-5 deficit. And then, of course, the Cubs threw in their guy who throws 102 miles an hour to close out the bottom of the 9th. And so all Giants fans were left heartbroken, in shock. Shell-shocked is more of how I feel. And I went to ask the Giants players after the game.
Yeah, you got to go back and talk in the locker room.
Yeah, so
was there locker room talk?
Yeah, well, the locker room talk didn't involve anything about sexually assaulting females. What it did involve was depression, why they're not playing anymore, and they just couldn't believe what happened. Then I went to the Cubs locker room, and there's champagne being thrown everywhere, beer being drank. I got wet because I got in the middle of one of the people throwing champagne all over. That's what they do. Every time someone wins a series in the baseball playoffs, the teams celebrate with alcohol and champagne, and they spray it all around.
Yeah,
and they get drunk and they get crazy. And I just wanted to experience that just because I wasn't going to do it again the rest of this year. Well, let's see, 2 years ago, I experienced it 2 times when the Giants went all the way. I got to see them celebrate in the divisional series, and I got to see them celebrate in the league championship series. So when I figured, I'm like, well, I just want to see what it feels like from the winning side this time around, and it was still depressing. I left there pretty bummed out, so...
And then you had the long drive home.
I had a long drive home, and here's one thing I will admit, and I'm going to blame the Giants not winning the World Series this even year on me. Now, see, they've won the World Series in the even year since 2010. So
okay.
They won it 2012, 2014.
That's what the even odd thing.
That's what the whole thing. Yeah, that's what the whole believe in, the AVEN was about. So, and so this was supposed to be the year they would win it again, right? 4 and 7 years. But back in February, I got really great odds at Westgate Casino in Vegas, and it was 12-1. And I said, I got to throw some money down on this. And I never, ever bet on my teams. And the fact that I put down $100 because I'm thinking like, hey, 6 months from now I'm going to have $1,300, and it didn't happen. So Giants fans, you can blame me for betting on them. That's why they didn't win this year. I will take full responsibility. And if you want to throw eggs at me or just I don't know, beat me up, that's fine, because I'll take full responsibility for it. I will not blame it on the obvious reasons that they didn't get a closer at the deadline and that their manager was just didn't have anyone to throw in the bullpen, or their hitting was atrocious in the second half. Nope, I'm taking full responsibility.
Well, and you did everything you could. You stood in that one part of the stadium.
I did. I have my spot during the playoffs that started in 2014. Because I'm not considered an important member of the press like some of the national media people are from ESPN and Fox and what have you, and all those Major League Baseball. So I get to sit. They call it the auxiliary press, which is sometimes it's in this workroom in the upper deck or way out in section 336, and I'm not going to set up way up there. I got to have my vibe into the game. And so I was walking around. This was back in 2014. I'm walking around the stadium thinking where can I just get a good spot? No one's going to bug me, and I'll be good to go. And I just happened to find this spot. There's this power box right next to this little popcorn concession stand between sections 109 and 110 at AT&T Park. And I'm I'm going to hang out there. I got to know the usher. She's this really sweetheart named Susan, and she let me hang out there because I'm media, and it really worked out. I never lost a game when I hung out there in 2014, and then I was continuing that win streak because Monday I went and they won. Something like Tuesday, going back to the same spot, so.
It's still...
See, I'm only superstitious when it comes to sports. So if something happens good, whether I was eating it that day or wearing this certain outfit that day, I continue that. Because that's how sports works. Same like in baseball. The unwritten rule is if a pitcher has a no-hitter going, you don't talk about it. You don't mention it. You don't say the word no or hitter at any time until about the 9th inning.
Oh.
Yeah, because if you do, you jinx it. You jinx it every single time someone says, oh, hey, he's got a no-hitter going. Oh, hey, he's got a perfect game going. This happened to me up in San Francisco back in 2011, I think, maybe 2012. I was at Jillian's. This is a cool sports bar where they have pool and all these kinds of games there. And I was actually there watching football, but the Giants game happened to be on at the same time the Raider game was on. And Matt Cain at that time, who was really good, had a no-hitter going. I think he was in the 7th or 8th inning, and this one jackass just to the right, he's like, oh, hey, Matt Cain's got a no-hitter. I think he had a perfect game or something like that going. And I just looked at him with just the most evil death stare eyes, what the hell did you just say? And I really, if my eyes could kill, if I had the laser beam like Superman does, he would, or what's his name, is it Cyclops in X-Men? He would have been just disintegrated. That's how evil eye I gave him. And then sure enough, 2 minutes later after the jackass said that, somebody got a hit off Matt Cain. And I was so mad. I just wanted to strangle him. Don't say that. You do not say that. But anyway.
Oh.
So, but
what a jackass.
Thank you. So even though it was heartbreaking and the Giants didn't win it this year, next year is a new year. And I just think this is the Cubs' year. I really think that they're going to end the curse of the Billy Goat. So
because they didn't allow someone to bring a billy goat.
Yes, in 1909, this one guy wanted to come into the game. He wanted to bring his billy goat, and they told him no. And so afterwards, he's like, I'm going to put a curse on you guys, and they're never going to win ever again. And sure enough, they haven't won since 1908. So, but I think this is the year. They got a good manager. Their lineup is great from top to bottom. Their pitching staff's great. I mean, their pitching staff had 6 RBIs in this series against the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's just how good they are. So we'll see. I mean, I guess that, when you suffered for 108 years, I guess you deserve to win after that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, the hockey season's back, my favorite season. And the Sharks got off to a great start last night against the hated L.A. Queens. And they beat them 2-1. It was an exciting game. 17,000 people flooded SAP Center last night. It was such a great atmosphere. And those 2 girls that I met Tuesday night at the Giants game that were standing kind of next to me. Well, they were there at the Shark game last night, and we drank some beers, we had some good conversation. I got a hug and a kiss afterwards, and it was awesome, and some phone numbers too. So
they can't help but kiss you because you're popular.
Exactly.
What was it Trump said? Oh, they just beautiful women. I just have to kiss them.
That's what he said.
Yeah, and that bus video. Yeah,
so I have to admit, I have not really paid attention to any of this election as far as like who's been saying what the debates have been going on. You
can't keep it. You'll go nuts if you do.
Yeah. So I've been ignoring it because I've been stuck in my whole sports world with the Giants and then now the Sharks and then Raiders. The Oakland Raiders are 4-1 on the season, first place for the first time since 2002. So our Raiders, there we go. Raider fans, we finally have something to be excited about after 14 fucking years. I love it.
Okay, so that's good. And then we're playing Barracuda at our work.
I know. We got the San Jose Barracuda, which is the Sharks minor league team. It's the little brother, if you will.
We're walking outside.
Yeah.
We're outside now.
Yeah. It's nice outside. You gotta get that cool sensation like if we're on the ice right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get to. You'll probably get to go. We're gonna have free tickets up the Yin Yang.
Oh yeah.
So to go all the time.
I'm sure. My buddy Nick there will hook us up with some free press passes as well because I don't think there's too many people banging on the door trying to cover a Barracuda game. No offense to the Barracuda, but that's just how minor league hockey works.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm excited about their season because seriously, the Sharks had brought up about 8 players from that team last year.
Oh, wow.
Because they had a bunch of injuries and everything. So, yeah. And that's what's cool about having the minor league team now here in San Jose because before they were all based on the East Coast, all their AHL teams. So the Sharks team was in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Oh.
Worcester. I love how they pronounce that
Worcester.
town because it's spelled WORCESTER. And it's pronounced Worcester. Worcester.
That is, I will.
Yeah.
It always makes me think of Worcestershire sauce.
Exactly. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I craving that now? Because I just pronounced the city Worcester.
It's one of the ingredients in ketchup.
It is, right? Yeah. So anyway, So now it's cool that all the West Coast teams, basically, even the Canadian ones, all have their AHL teams now based here in California. It's really cool. Yeah.
Now, I would like to ask you about your sports show.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the sports show. That's right.
Where can people, including Susan the Usher, listen to your sports show?
She can listen to that. She goes to 11. If you're here in the Bay Area, 1170 AM is the call number. Sorry.
The position.
The
station number.
Yeah. Or they can listen online. Go to desi1170am.com. Click on the listen live. Sunday nights, 9 p.m. My co-host, Lowell Tuckerman, and I will be talking everything about Bay Area sports. I mean, you have to throw in a little bit of cricket because we're on a South Asian station. But, other than that, though, we cover the whole spectrum here in the Bay Area. So it's really cool.
Did you say cricket?
Yes, I did.
There's a cricket that just happened to walk over when you said that.
And that's pretty much
outside.
What it sounds like when you watch cricket too. So.
You
batting
actually
practice.
learned how to play, to understand cricket.
Yeah, I did. I actually did. And again, when I watch it, I mean, it's so different because the pitchers are called bowlers. They're not called, pitchers, obviously. And you basically have to do an undercut swing to hit the ball, and it's flat bat. Bats aren't round; they're flat. And then you just got to hit it into the stadium or into the stands. And that's maybe 150 feet from where you're positioned at. And you get points, I hope a bunch of points for it. And that's it. You get to do that, I think, 10 to 12 times. And here in America, we call that batting practice. So,
what time is it again? And what
Sunday nights, 9 p.m. on Desi 1170 AM, KLOK radio. And again, you can go to the website, Desi1170am.com, because that's just the best way to listen to it. And if you're in the Bay Area, just 1170 AM on your radio dial.
Why is it called Desi?
That is the term that South Asians use to call themselves when they're not living in India.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
It's actually pronounced Daisy, but yeah, Daisy.
Daisy.
I always mispronounce it a few times before I finally get it right, but that's just me.
We learned so many things on today's show.
Yes, we did.
Thank you so much, Marco.
Thank you, Mike, for always having me. It's a pleasure, and I appreciate it. And we'll do it again soon.
Yes, we will. We're going to do it again. We're not going to do that again.
We never have before previously, so.
We had a party with some baristas. No, that didn't happen.
I hope we should. You know what? Next Mikey's podcast, we got to get baristas in here. We got to work on that.
Hey, it's not going to be objectify or whatever that other word was. We're going to call the show Barista.
Yes.
Barista. Because we love you, baristas.
We do love you.
We love the wonderful coffee.
Would you like some coffee?
What?
Would you like some coffee? When the coffee's first rate, so is everything else.
And we like donuts. I'm just going through all the sound effects. Oh, wait, that's not sound. Beer.
See, if baristas served beer, I probably would be more. I would visit my local coffee shop more.
I don't know where my donut. Oh, here's the
donuts.
Wonderful. All right. So, Marco, thank you for being on the show. Next show, it's going to be Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. If you have any... Oh, go to MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. I forgot to plug my own thing. MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com has all the past podcast pictures. There's the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you were going to buy on Amazon. That helps us out. And there's a... get that on your website, Marco.
That's right.
I've made this much money. I made a big zero sign. And PayPal, too, and you'll get a special greeting from the Cafe Anyway characters like Valentino.
I'm not going to do that.
He's not going to do that. Do you know that? All right. Valentino Bison Bentley there. And then there's past interviews, and that's it. And past Marco Minutes, I guess. You've done a couple now.
I'm going back inside. It's cold out here.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.